Yo, what's the dealio, y'all? What up, man? We live on YouTube. What's the word? What's the word? How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? If you just tuning in, man, say what's up in the comments. Let me know where you tuning in from. All right, be sure to like this video. Let's get this live to 100 likes. All right. And to all the football fans out there, man, happy first day. Happy NFL kickoff today. All right. So if you just tuning in, man, say what's up. Say what's up. Best Beezy, what's up? So this video, today's live, it ain't gonna be super long. We'll see though. But what up, Marley? Key, what's up? BG, what up, bro? How you feeling? What's up, Bryant? What's the dealio? What's the dealio? What up, Charlie? Yeah. So check it out, y'all. We got a new week this week. We have a lot going on. Last week is a lot to recap as well. QTZ, what up, QTZ? We got a lot to recap as well, man. So, what up, Timothy? How you feeling? So yeah, I didn't know when like the best time would be to go live, just because I know it's Sunday and it's the NFL kickoff day. So I know everybody got their teams and stuff, man. So next week we might do the evening time. We gonna see. All right, but just stay tuned in, tapped in. Do me a favor, like this video. All right, let's get this video to 100 likes. All right, Q, what up, EQ? Doria, what's up? What's up, Philip? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Y'all have a good weekend? So let's just get into it, man. I don't want to waste y'all time today. I got 3 setups for you guys. Every week I got a solid 3. It's a whole bunch of setups. I will say the market is looking like it wants to be bullish. Okay, so even if we do have a pullback, I do think that the market is going to be bullish based on what I'm looking at on the charts. How we finished last week and how things went last week. We did have a pullback, and then things came down, and then they started to go up, right? But job reports came out. The unemployment rate is high. Okay, so they're trying to get the rates to get cut, and that could make things go up. But the thing about it is, it could be built-in pricing potentially, right? It could be built-in pricing. So we just got to be patient. We got to see, and we can't be too overzealous with our predictions or what we think is going to happen. All right. So that's just something to keep in mind for you all. All right. So if you just tuning in, man, say what's up in the comments. Also, do me a favor and like this video. All right. Like this video. We bring in videos to you every single day. All right. So let's get into it, man. Let's talk about last week. All right, let's talk about last week. So let's go over last week's watch list. And then let's see. Got the watch list pulled up right here. All right, so last week, I will say last week was a pretty tricky week. It was kind of weird, if I'm being honest, but I don't want to be that type of person that like blames things on the market, because we still made some bread, but for the small account challenge, we lost a little bit of money. So yeah, we're gonna go into it. Let's do talk about the IWM and SPY. All right. It faked out a lot of people in both directions. Well, not in both directions, but some stocks faked people out to the upside. The SPY and the tech stocks fake people out to the downside, right? So, and that's why knowing your levels and your support and resistance is so important, right? Super, super, super critical. Okay, so let's go into last week. But looking at my watch list right now, we was 2 for 3, and I told y'all, what's going on. So I'm pulling up the charts right now for you guys. I'm pulling up the charts right now. So we had, all right. So last week, the first stock that I had said the first stock that I was looking at, I had said, what we got? Not Marvel. There we go. All right. The first stock, I said Apple, right? Apple was on a bull flag right here. I said calls above 233.37. And I said we could go to 244, right? So let's look at Apple and let's see what they did, right? Let's look at Apple. I got Delta Airlines pulled up. I know Best B, you in them right now, so I was looking at their chart. But let's go to Apple real quick. Apple, all right. Okay, so look. So check it out, y'all. This is from last week. Puts below 231. Then I said above 233, right? Above 233, breaking out of this bull flag on the weekly, right? Look, I have it all written right here. Calls above 233.37. The first price target is 235.07, right? And look what they did last week. Okay, look what they did last week. They broke out above that 233, then they came all the way up to 241. Okay, so my levels hit last week, man. Listen, stop playing with me, y'all. These levels, they hit. All right, I'm gonna tell you, these levels gonna hit, I would say 85% of the time in the direction that I say. Okay. So this was Apple last week. I told you guys, I broke it all down for you. I gave you guys levels, everything, right? And it did exactly what we said, right? It broke out of that bull flag. It faked people out, came all the way down to 226, blasted off, all right? So that was the first one right there, man. Come on now. Listen, these levels hit, y'all. If you are not making money off of this watch list, I don't know what you're doing. All right. I'm showing you every week what I put on a watch list versus what happens with the actual watch list. All right. I'm telling you guys, this stuff is powerful and it could change your life. All right. If y'all tuning in, say what's up in the comments and do me a favor and like this video. All right. Let's get this live video to 100 likes. All right, y'all. That's all I ever asked for. It's just some engagement. Okay. Do something, said peace. I joined a Discord today. Looking forward to this week's. There we go. Hey, salute to that, man. Salute to that. All right, there you go, Doria. Hey, why you ain't put that in the Discord, right? Post all y'all profits in the profits tab in the Discord, right? Don't be quiet about your wins. You know what I'm saying? Prosperity Collective, it's a collective of people that's winning, right? So share your wins, okay? So, what we got? Yeah, welcome to the Prosperity Collective, man. What's up, Tia? How you feeling? Doria said your analysis is so magical. Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, I just try to, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to help everybody. So check this out. The other second stock I said I had on my watch list was right here. Right? No, this for the small account. Come on now. Here we go. All right, it was right here. All right, it was PANW, right? So, they had some strong weeks right here. I said if we break above 192.47 calls, we could ride it to 210. We had, what, 2 levels before that, but the price target would be 210 right here, okay? Now, let's go to PANW, and let's see what happened, okay? Let's look at PANW. PANW. All right, look at that. Okay, look at this right here. It did its thing. It had on a 30-minute earlier in the week, it had a bull flag right here. Okay, had a bull flag right here. Came down a little bit, stopped people out, pushed back up, came down again, held the support right here, blasted off, and it went all the way to 196. All right, so from 192 all the way to 196. All right, that was the move we got off of PANW, off of those levels right there. All right, so that's 2 for 2. All right, That's 2 for 2. You guys could have made 100% return on your money this week off of this watch list right here. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. So please understand the power of this stuff. What's up, Gerald? How you feeling? Right? Best Be said on Monday I hit Apple. I seen it reject. I got an put, wrote it up. Hey, as simple as that, man. Right? What up, Gerald? Yeah, we're gonna make a lot more money this week, Doria. PNW, you got 30%. Okay. All your analysis from last week did work. Yeah. So let's go to my last one that I put on my watch list. I didn't pay too much attention to this one, honestly. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, because last week was it was like crazy. It was like so many things, and you had to really pay attention. What's up, Mikey? How you feeling, Mikey? But let me see. Where is it at? It's pulling up. I'm pulling it up right now. It was the third one. But if you paid attention to these levels on this one, you would have made money as well. Okay? So watch this. Here we go. Okay, so, all right, boom. So I'm pulling up the daily right here. Give me a second, y'all. Travis, what's up? When you plan to go up on the Discord, it's gonna be like probably in another month. Yeah, hey, real quick, y'all. We're gonna be increasing our prices with the Prosperity Collective. I don't like to say it's a Discord, right? It is a trading community, an investment community. So everybody who's locked in at the price right now, you are gonna be grandfathered in. But once we announce the new price, we are not going back. All right. So if y'all want to join the Prosperity Collective, I highly encourage y'all to lock yourself in and get grandfathered in, because the price it's going more than double. All right. So yeah. Gerald said been going through it on some family stuff. I'm gonna get back into the Discord. Hey, yeah. Hey, we cook every day. All right. Be patient. Let your contract run. This analysis is so powerful. Absolutely. And if you guys need to, if it makes you feel better, I would say just get the next week's contracts. If you're not comfortable, or if you're not ready for the same week's expirations, and maybe you just, a little bit nervous or whatever, get the next week's contracts. Yes, it'll be a little bit more expensive, but it'll help you sleep at night. All right. So yeah, do something. I'm telling y'all, we got so many amazing things that's on the way for the Prosperity Collective. And listen, people are making money. Not only that, but people changing their life. And I just want you guys to understand, if you don't get locked in right now, like grandfathered in, like it ain't gonna be no more. It ain't gonna be no more $40 a month. So I highly encourage everybody to get locked in now before we do go up on the price. All right. So the last stock that I called last week, it was right here. Okay. So we got TTD, Trade Desk, right? I said calls above 55.51. Okay, now check this out. This was last Friday, right here. Okay, I said if we get above 55.51, then we can ride it to the upside. But look what happened. It ended up coming down. So it opened here. It never even came to test this level right here. It never came to test this level, right? So it ended up coming down all the way to 51.94 and then like 51.22, right? So with TTD, if you see if it breaks above like 52.59 this week, then I would expect it to come back up to $54, right? So yeah. So TTD, it didn't even come and test the level that I said. So that's probably why I didn't even like pay attention to it, because if it came and hit it and then rejected, that would have been nice on the put side. But I wasn't even paying attention to it because I didn't get alerted about TTD at all, right? If it was coming up, I would have got alerted for it because my phone got the alerts, but it's all good, right? So that one stayed below. It did make moves, but you would have had to get inputs, and you would have had to been paying attention to that stock like that. Okay. So yeah, as we said, especially when you get a contract on Thursday or Friday, yeah, next week's. Yep. Unless I'm like really like focused on like those 0 days. But yeah, like 0 days they can burn you and they could also make you money, right? But yeah. So check it out, y'all. So now we got this coming up week. Okay. We got this coming up week. We're already in the week basically. Tomorrow the market opens in a couple more hours. We're about to see how futures are opening up as well, right? So let's go. Let's look at the IWM and let's also look at the SPY. So before we look at these, what I'm gonna say is just based on the rhythm of the market and what I'm seeing, I do think that we're going to go higher, right? At least IWM. I think the IWM is getting ready to go higher. The reason why I say that is because we're sitting in that zone. We're at 237 and all-time highs is at 241. With how things have been going, I think that IWM is about to touch all-time highs and then break through, right? Or reject, but I think that it could break through because, and we about to go on the charts and look, but I think IWM is about to hit all-time highs for the first time in years. All right? So that's just what I think, okay? That's just what I'm thinking. Even if we get a pullback, I do think that that's going to happen. And what we might have is we may open green on Monday, and then we may get a pullback on Tuesday or Wednesday and then rally for the rest of the week. That's what I personally think could happen. Obviously, we're going to see. But let's look at the SPY and let's look at IWM. And then we'll go over the setups that I have for this week, okay? And what I will say is if you guys are tuning in and you haven't, do me a favor and like this video, all right? Like this video. I'm giving you guys support levels. I'm giving you guys resistance levels. I'm giving you analysis. I'm giving you the whole breakdown every Sunday, and every single day I'm bringing you guys life-changing information, all right, that you can make money with in the actual stock market. All right? All I ask is that you actually engage and you don't just take, right? Don't just take. Give me a like. That's all I'm asking for, right? So that we can continue to show this to more people in the algorithm and YouTube world. All right. I'm super focused on YouTube and I just want to continue to grow this, right? So that's what I want, right? I'm asking y'all, hey, just like this video, right? Don't be stingy with that. All right. So let's go over IWM and let's go over the SPY and what they did last week, okay? So let's go over right here to the SPY. All right. All right, so SPY last week, I said calls above 640.51, and look what it did last week, right? Last week, calls above 640.51. Let me... 640.51 was right here. Oh, yeah. So look, this was last week, Monday, August 20. Yeah, let me see what the high of the week was. Oh, I did this 2 weeks ago, my bad. Oh, no. Yeah, I did this 2 weeks ago. So I gave you guys levels last week, but basically, oh yeah, because I was doing it off the daily time frame. But as we can see, we got a bullish 3-bar right here last week on the SPY. So here's what's going to happen this week with SPY, right? The SPY is either going to go crazy to the upside, go crazy to the downside, or it's going to go and consolidate this week, right? We potentially could be stuck in a range this week because when we have a big move like this, right, after comes continuation or consolidation. Keep that in mind, right? Write that down. After a big move is either going to come continuation or consolidation, or it could sell off, right? But when we have a 3-bar right here, after it, usually comes a 2 up, right? Look at this one, 3 bar and then a 2 up right here, okay? Look at this one, a bullish 3 bar right here, bullish 3 bar and then a 2 up, right? And so that started that trend right there. So anytime you see these 3 bars, they're very powerful, right? 3 bar right here, next week, blast off, right? So I think that the SPY could blast off this week. We have a 3 bar, so if we could get above 652, then we could be 2 up on a week and we could go higher, right? We could create new all-time highs this week again. All right, again, let's see how we close on a daily on Friday. On Friday, we have some selling pressure right here. All right, buyers did step in, but it was a red day, right? We was down 0.2% on the day right here. Okay, so if we could get above 652, so we opened up at all-time highs and then we sold off, right? If you go to the 30-minute time frame right here, 30-minute time frame, right? Look what happened. We gapped up, right? We gapped up. We opened at all-time highs and then we sold off, right? And then we just kind of was there all day. So with that being said, I would really like to see SPY get above 647.42 and then reclaim this right here, right? So if we could reclaim this 651, 652 level right here, if we could reclaim that and we could close higher than this, then we could be going to about 660. All right, 656, 660. Okay. SPY likes to move in like $3 to $5 increments, right? So if we break all-time highs, I would be expecting for it to go up about $3, you know, conservatively. Okay, so like I say, if we can get above, I got 2 levels for you on SPY tomorrow. We're going to say 647.40. Above 647.40. And then the next level would be 652.19. 652.19. Okay. So you could take entry if we break above right here tomorrow at 647.40. You could take entry lightly, ride it up here. If we break above there, you can add to your position and then really like ride it up because it'll be breaking all-time highs. So it's gonna go for a little minute, right? Or you could just go from here to here as a retracement and then make your bread right there. That's a $4 move, right? From 647 all the way to 652. That's a $5 move right there, right? So, or you could just wait until it breaks here and then it'll go crazy for about $3 to $5. All right. So that's on the SPY right there. All right. That's on the SPY. Let me know if that makes sense, y'all. Does that make sense on the SPY? What's up, Pete Bryant? So that's the SPY, right? Now let's go over IWM. Look at IWM, y'all. Right? So this is what's going on with IWM here. Okay, so let's zoom out real quick on the daily. Ooh, y'all see this right here? Look at this. This is, all this is, I want to bring y'all attention to this right here. I'm going to zoom in real close so y'all can see, okay? We have from 237 to 239. And then we have from 237 to 234. All right. So we have almost the same amount of pressure on both sides. So right here, we got buying pressure. Okay. We got buying pressure right here. Let me do this. All right. So we got buying pressure right here. Okay. A lot of buyers stepped in right there. But we also have selling pressure. All right. We got selling pressure right here. Okay. So what this means is the buyers and the sellers are both at war right now. They fighting it out right now, right? But from here, right, from this 237, it was all the way down to 234, right? 98. So that's about $3 of buying pressure. All right. So buyer stepped in and pushed it up $3. So keep this in mind, right? So $3. Okay. So, and then right here from this 237, it came up to 239. So that's $2. All right. So we got $2 of selling pressure right here. So here's how I look at this. There's a lot of selling pressure and there's a lot of buying pressure, right? But the buyers had a little bit more pressure getting pushed up because this is also a 2-up candle on the week, right? But also the buyers pushed the stock up $3 and the sellers pushed the stock down $2, right? So because that, I am leaning towards bullish because more buyers were present on Friday. Let me know if that makes sense. And this is why you want to pay attention to the wicks and to the distance of the wicks, to the size of the wicks, right? Because every time you see, large wicks from one side, it usually ends up going in that direction, right? So I really want you guys to think about this and understand buying pressure, selling pressure. Buyers push the stock up $3, seller push the stock down $2. So buyers won by a little bit, right? But to the untrained eye, they don't really know what's going on, right? So with that being said, let's continue to zoom out. If we zoom out, right? Zoom out. Let's go to the weekly real quick. On the weekly, we got a 3-bar, right? We got a 3-bar right here, okay? These are the all-time highs at 245, right? 245, right? So, and you see we came up to 239, okay? Now we got 241 is the next level right here. And then we could go up to 242, 65, right? So, I would say calls above 239.68, okay? Calls above 239.68, okay? Calls above 239.68 for IWM right here. Now we could, so this is a very big range though. So once again, we could have a consolidation week. The IWM could just go between 239 and 231, right? That's a possibility. If IWM loses this 231.58 level, then we get into puts and we ride this thing down all the way down here, right? Like 224, 227. But 231 is the weekly support, all right? As long as we stay above 231.44, if let's say we pull back tomorrow, let's just say, and we come down to 232, and when you start to see us coming back up, you could enter into calls and expect it to come back up to test 239.68. And if we break above 239.68, then we go into 242. All right? So that's the game plan on IWM. Y'all feel me? If y'all with me, put it in the comments. If y'all with me, put I'm with you in the comments. Let me know that y'all getting this and y'all understand what I'm saying here. All right? If y'all with me on IWM, let me know. That's a game plan right there. Okay? That's the game plan right there. Okay? Yeah, the Wick's going to tell you a story. All right? The Wick's going to tell you a story. Now, I got 3 setups. I wanted to make sure that we did a recap of last week too, right? A recap of last week. Because I don't want to just every week give you new. I want y'all to see my track record. That's really what it's about. I want y'all to understand that I am a trustworthy source. And when I say something, that should be panning out. right? So every week I want to show you guys the progress and what we call what happened, so that you know you are not spending your time with somebody that don't know what they talking about. I want you guys to make money with me. I want you guys to make money with my YouTube channel, right? I want y'all to make money with us in the Prosperity Collective. Okay, so I just want to make sure that we recap the last week before we talk about the week that we're walking into. Okay, I just want to be very clear about that. Okay, so let's go into this week's setups now. All right, y'all know I like to foundationally do things, right? We take it step by step over here. I ain't gonna water hose you with a whole bunch of whatever. We gonna take it step by step. Okay, so just make sure you keep walking with me, and we gonna get this thing right. So let's go over our this week's setups. All right, y'all. Gerald said, bro, yeah. Hey, that's what it's about. It took a while to get here, but yeah, we definitely be calling some plays, man. All right. So watch this. Before we go into the first setup, if you just tuning in, say what's up in the comments. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. All right. And also like this video. Okay. Like this video. I'm giving y'all support levels and resistance levels, when to enter, right? To the upside and to the downside. So don't take this stuff lightly. All right. Like this video and let me know where y'all tuning in from. All right. So let's go to this week. What's the game plan for this week, y'all? If you are in a Prosperity Collective, you already got my 3, and then you already got my bonus one as well, okay? And what we gonna do is I'm gonna give y'all on YouTube the 3, and we gonna break it all down so we have a very solid game plan, okay? So we got a very solid game plan. So the first, hey, shout out to Austin, Texas, man. That's where my family from. Shout out to Austin, Texas. Okay. So for the first setup that we got, it's going to be Oscar Health again. Okay. I called them about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. All right. So let's go to their chart and let's go see what's really popping. Okay. So OSCR. Check it out. Look at this right here. All right. So first off, we don't have resistance until $22, $22.05. All right. Calls above 1945, right? Already got this right here. Calls above 1945 on OSCR. If you look at the daily time frame, we got a gap. We're filling the gap right now. I wish I would have saw this last week, because I would have entered in this trade last Tuesday. At the beginning of this right here, it broke this level, and then we would have ate, all right? But it's all good, because we may get a pullback, okay? You see, we got a whole week straight where we just went up, right? The week before we consolidated, it was in a bull flag right here. If we pull back, I still expect OSCR to go up to $22, right? So if OSCR goes down, right, as long as it's above, let's say right here, it could come down to potentially like 1820, okay? 1820 is a support level, right? That's where the buyer's going to be sitting at. So it could come down to 1820 potentially. I'm not saying it will, but it could. Or it could come down to like 1879. Right? So if it comes down to here, I would definitely buy. If it breaks above 1945, I would enter in and ride calls up. It has to fill this gap. It finishing the gap fill would be at $20.23. Okay? $20.23. But it has room to go to $22.05. Okay? So calls above 1945. If it comes down to like 1824, 1879, then you could also enter in right there on a pullback, anticipating it go higher. All right. So that's OSCR. Now, the thing with OSCR is what you want to understand is healthcare. Usually, when the stock market is doing bad, healthcare is going up. When a stock market is doing good, healthcare might just be consolidating. Okay? So, think about this. Pay attention to how the market is going. Pay attention to what's going on in the actual market. All right, I can't stress that enough. I'm here to help you guys learn how to think for yourself and learn how to trade, right? If y'all want, I will also recommend book a one-on-one with me, and we're going to be able to back test everything and create your trading plan. So if you want to create a trading plan, right, something that you could just focus on, then be sure to click the link in my description and we could do a one-on-one as well. All right, I'll get you guys right. So the next thing, that's OSCR, okay? Now this next setup is gonna be a layup. I promise you guys, this is gonna be a layup right here. Okay? This next setup right here, it's a layup. RG Cutter, what up? How you feeling? How you feeling? If y'all new to the live, man, just say what's up. Let me know where y'all tuning in from. Like this video. Let's get this video to 100 likes. All right. What's up, Alex McCall? What up? What up? So, the next stock for this week. Let me pull it up real quick. This is a layup. All right. I'm telling y'all, this is a layup. You ain't got to question this right here. All right. Like, seriously. So watch this. Okay. The next one, we got Hood. Okay, this is one of my favorite stocks. I've been trading them since they was at about $40. And if anybody inside of the Prosperity Collective, y'all know we've been on Hood since March. Okay? We've been trading Hood since March. All right? Like, we've been on them for a minute before everybody was popular. All right? Nola, hey, what up? Hey, shout out to Nola, man. I rock with Nola heavy. I got some people out in New Orleans for sure. But yeah, so we got Hood, right? So Hood, they just got added to the S&P 500, right? The S&P 500. After hours on Friday, they went up to 107. Okay? They went up to 107. All right. What up, Genesis? How you doing, Genesis? How you feeling? So Hood went up to 107. So let's watch this real quick. Check this out. Let's go to the charts. All right, boom. So let's go to Robinhood. Check this out. All right. So this was them on the daily on Friday, right? Opened up here, closed here, came all the way down here. Buyers pushed it up, right? So its high of day was 106, right? But they gapped up all the way to 107, but they closed at 101, right? So if we can get above 109.80, we could ride this thing up all the way back to all-time highs, right? Now, there's only going to be one level that you want to pay attention to. It's going to be 111.86, okay? We could run into a little bit of resistance here, but it ain't nothing too crazy, all right? So, with that being said, on Robinhood, calls above 109.80. Calls above 109.80, we gapped up to 107. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. If it opens, let's say Robinhood opens at 108, okay, right here. That would mean that there is a gap right here, okay, potentially. This is all theoretical and hypothetical. We got to see what the market chooses to do. But if they open at, let's say, 108, 109, they could come and fill that gap real quick and then go to the upside. Or they could just gap up and then just go, right? I'm just giving you guys the scenarios so you guys aren't caught off guard with what's going on. Let's say you enter into them and then they come down. So that you're not scared, I want to get you guys situated and prepared and ready, right? So if they gap up right here, there's going to be a gap. So it could come down to fill that gap. And then if it does, let's say it does come down to 105, right? Or like 104, potentially, let's just say. If it comes down here, what it could do is it could scare people out of the position, and then it'll bounce here. And if it bounces after it fills this gap, it's going to come up to here. All right. I'm giving you guys the play. I'm giving y'all the plan right here. All right. So we could come and fill this gap, bounce, and then go higher. Or we could gap up and then just go crazy. But that's Robinhood. Calls above 109.80. Or if it comes down to about 105.96 to fill this gap, then that's when you want to take an entry, anticipate it going higher. All right. That is going to be Robinhood. I'm looking for S&P 500 news catalyst continuation. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. What's up, Ed? How you feeling? That's what I'm looking for on Robinhood, y'all. That's a layup. Great company, highly profitable, already was on a pullback, just got included in the S&P 500. So even if they do come down, you know they about to go crazy. They just got to balance out, fill the gap, and go back to the upside. And then they're going to go touch 117 to retest those all-time highs. And if they break above that, then what's going to happen? They're going to go crazy. So this could be the start of a new uptrend. We could see Robinhood hit 125 and 130. Literally, we could see Robinhood hit 125, 130 by the end next week, end of the month. Like Robinhood runs. When Robinhood runs, it goes crazy. All right. Gerald said, I should have bought shares. Hey, man. Hey, you definitely should have, right? Best B said, Hood was my first stock option and a profitable trade I ever took. Hey, shout out to Hood, man. Shout out to Hood. Mike said, after S&P inclusion, the stock typically runs about 44% after. Yep. It was up 7% after market though. So that could be it. But I think that we could really see it go and test all-time highs because people love Hood. People love Hood. The product, everybody uses it. So yeah. Well, I remember when I joined in February, it was $30 for a share, Robin. Yep, $30. Yep, $30. Real cheap. What up? I was washing dishes for the house, but I've been locked in last. Hey, what's up? What's up, Reggie? Yeah, man. Hey, I had to wash dishes this morning too. Right? I was at the gym, and then Charlie, she was gonna cook Sunday dinner early. So I had to come back and I had to wash dishes too. So, hey, shout out to everybody who be cleaning the house. All right. Shout out to everybody who be cleaning the house. Yeah, RG Cutter. Check out Robinhood. It's a banger. All right. We've been trading Robinhood for almost a year now. I don't trade futures yet. I haven't really got into it fully. I just be focusing on stock options right now. But I be looking at the futures market, but I just haven't traded it just yet. Shout out to everyone cleaning the house. Now for real, y'all. Webull has the same chance to go up. Exactly, right? So Webull, that's why I made a video about Webull for long term, because Webull, the ticker symbol BULL, it's in the same scenario. I made a video not yesterday, but like 2 Saturdays ago or on a Friday. I made a video about Webull. I titled the video, Buy This $60 Stock for $13. Okay? So, yeah, like, listen, Webull is going to be a future type of growth stock. That's a growth stock for sure. They're going to go crazy. Soundhound, yep, that's a smooth one right there. What you thought on Hood, on the leap with Hood? So the thing about a leap with Hood right now, because we're so close to all-time highs, right? We're only $10 away basically. I don't think that it's time for a leap yet. You want a stock to drop 20% plus, right? To really be considered, like, to get into a leap. Now, if you want to swing trade it, that's a little bit different. But if you see, let me show you the charts. Let me show you something real quick. All right. And this is for everybody to understand, right? So let's look at Robinhood right here on the charts, right? So check this out, right? So now look at this. This is when you want to enter into leaps on Robinhood. Look, I hope y'all see what I'm saying. This area right here. Okay. Leap. Okay. Because look, it's right here. We talking about $39, right? $30, right? This is where you enter in because look, it hasn't came too much lower since it broke above this level right here at $30. Y'all see what I'm saying? But look what happened after it bounced from here. Oh my goodness. So you want to enter into a leap right here. You don't, and look, it was at $67 and then it came all the way down to 30, right? So that's a $30 move right there. That's, you enter in leaps right there. When it breaks above here, it broke above 85 and it just went stupid, right? It went stupid. You want to enter in your leaps right here. You don't want to enter into a leap right here or right here because it's only $10 away from all-time highs. It's too close to all-time highs. The downside, right? Understand this right here. The downside on Robinhood is all the way down here, right? Let's just say right here to $50. That's the downside potential. But with the upside, it's up here, but Robinhood has not proved that it could go higher than 117 yet, right? So is this the dip or is this just a temporary dip and we're going to go lower? I think that we could go lower. So if Robinhood came back down to like set $80, I would say you could enter into a leap there because we know that its all-time highs is at 117, right? And from 70 to 117 is a bigger move rather than from 107 to 117. You get what I'm saying? So I would not enter in the leaps right now, if I'm being honest, okay? When you're looking for leaps, you want to find companies that are just beat down or they're before everybody knows about them, right? You always want to know, enter into a trade before it is obvious. That's how you make the real money. You enter in before it is obvious. When everybody talking about it, you already too late. That's when the smart money is selling. When it's on a tear and it's going and everybody is talking about it, that's when people start to say, okay, I'm going to sell out of my position, right? And take profits. I'm gonna let all y'all newbies, right? And retail traders, I'm gonna let y'all buy in at a high price and I'm gonna sell at a high price because I entered into the trade low. Buy low, sell high. Do not buy high and sell low. I say this almost every week. Buy low, sell high. Do not buy high and sell low. All right. So yeah. Let's see. I like futures on the Hood app, but Weeble's better. Yeah, for sure. Insight on AI. So I was trading them probably about a month ago. They pulled back. They gapped down off their earnings. They're kind of just chilling. We could look at them in a minute after I go over this last setup. Diana, happy Sunday, everyone. I just started trading, and Hood is a stock I've been consistently done well with. I only trade on the front and have never tried the options. Oh, okay. That's what's up, Diana. Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to that. Hood is a great stock. It's very liquid. They make moves. They're volatile. They go up and down. So you can make good money on Hood consistently. All right. So the last setup that I have for you guys, I just want to talk about them leaps real quick, right? Just to give you guys some insight and perspective on that. And if we got some time after this, then we could go over some stocks analysis. But let's go over the last setup that I have. What is it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the last setup for this week that I have is going to be right here. PDD. All right. PDD. Now, they are a parent company of a lot of Chinese stocks. Okay. A lot of Chinese stocks. Right. So let's go to PDD and let's see what happened. Okay. PDD right here. All right. So if you look on the daily, look at the daily, right? We are inside of a supply zone right here. All right. So we got, how many touches do we have, y'all? So we got 1 touch. We got 2 touch. And we got 3 touches right here. And now we're coming up on the 4th touch, right? We're coming up on the 4th touch right here. Okay. So I have a level. I got calls above 126.59. Now we could go up to 133, right? Because that's right here. But that would be just breaking out of the supply zone, right? If the sellers become buyers at 133, we could see PDD go absolutely crazy. All right. Absolutely crazy. We could see PDD go all the way to 145 and then 155. All right. Absolutely crazy. So calls above 126.59. First price target is 133. If we break above there and get above there, we could be going to 145 real fast. All right. I am already in a position with PDD in one of my accounts, right? I think I'm going to enter in again this week on PDD because I think that they're about to go crazy. You see right here, and this is a thing, right? Confluences. We got boom and we got boom, right? We got a double bottom right here. Okay. It was a gap right there, right? Neckline right here. We're above the neckline. We're in the supply zone, right? Above the neckline in the supply zone. This thing could really skyrocket, y'all. This thing could skyrocket nasty. All right. And the thing about PDD is someone just, there was a trade that got placed. They put $10 million into this stock, into this trade, and their expiration date is the 3rd of October, which means that they expect this stock to move a considerable amount because they put $10 million into the stock with the expiration date of October 3rd. All right. So, I mean, you know, take with that information you will, but they could go crazy. And because they're you know, parent company of Chinese stocks, I don't know if you guys remember last month at the beginning of August, I made a video about stocks that could go crazy. Alibaba was one of the stocks when it was at like 110. Where is Alibaba at right now? It's at 135. And we got room to go, right? Who remembers me talking about Alibaba last month? Who remembers me talking about Alibaba last month? Right? Who remembers me talking about Alibaba last month? If you remember me talking about Alibaba last month, let me know. Before they was at 135, they was at like 118, 110, 115, 114. I said they could go crazy. Now they're at 135, and I think that we have Alibaba could really be going back to 145, 150, right? And to 200. So please understand that, right? And another stock that is another Chinese stock, just to give you guys perspective, look at this one right here. I'm going to show y'all another stock, right? I did make money on Baba last month too. See? See? Yeah. Ashley says she remember. Yeah, look, I don't be, this is why I put everything in the Discord, and this is why I make videos, right? To put things on record. Because listen, when I was just starting, I remember there would be people that would make videos, and then I would be able to see the stock go crazy, and I'd be like, damn, I remember he made a video 2 months ago about this stock, and now it's $60 higher. Dang. So when he say this stock is gonna do something, I listen, right? This is why I make videos like that, because I want you guys to be able to change your life. Seriously. I want to be a vessel for you guys changing your life. All right? I don't just be talking. I analyze this stuff. I study, right? Consistently. Alibaba did numbers. All right? So look at this other Chinese stock right here. Futu. Look at this stock, y'all. Let's do a look at it on a weekly. Okay? Look at these candles right here. Okay? This was what? In April, right? It was at $87, right? This is in June. In June, it was at 121. Had a crazy week. It went up from 122 all the way up to, it went up $20, right? Had a pullback right here, and then it went stupid. Touched 199, almost $200, right? All the way from $87 earlier this year, right? In 1 week, it went up $20 right here, right? Look at Alibaba, right? Look at what they did in the last 2 weeks, right? Look at how they move. They have these massive weeks, right? Massive weeks. Massive, right? Big moves, right? And they came up to, they rejected at 149. They're at they touched 138 right here. They're going to retest this 148. Y'all see what I'm saying? But look at where they came from, y'all. Look at where they came from. Alibaba was all the way at 319 during the pandemic. 319, and then they rejected, and look where they came all the way down here, right? So you got to understand that, like, when a stock is down this bad or down here, once Alibaba breaks above 148, look, it's going to go absolutely ballistic, and it's going to go to the upside crazy. Is it going to go to 300? Maybe one day, but if we get above 148 right here, it's going to come down and retest, and then it's going to go crazy, and it's going to go to the upside. All right? So I'm just giving y'all this stuff, like, so you understand, like, this stuff is real life. All right? Let's be said for real. Well, every level you give out, and even if that level might not hit within a day or week, them are still good. Yep. Ashley said, I got notes from 2/9/25 in February. You mentioned Alibaba. Yeah, that could be a leap play. Yeah. Well, I would say it was a leap play. The perfect entry was when it was under 120, right? I'm not saying that it's not a good entry now, but when it was under 120, that's $15, $18 move that you already could have capitalized on, right? So yeah, like, you would have to catch them on a pullback for a leap, right? So, but nonetheless, I do think that Alibaba is still a good, call option trade that's long dated. All right. So that's Alibaba, man. But I wanted to show you guys the Chinese stocks. That was the whole point of doing that. So right now, the Chinese stocks are on a tear. PDD is like a parent company of a lot of Chinese stocks. And if we look at PDD on the charts, right? If we look at PDD on the charts, look at where they was at, right? Oh, let me look at where PDD was at. They were at 212, okay? 212, no higher, right? They was at 212. just bounced off of here, came up, right? And look where they trying to go. Look where they trying to go, y'all. They at the supply zone right here. They get above here, we ain't got nothing but room until 145 minimum. All right? So, listen. If you want to make some real money, come fuck with the Prosperity Collective. All right, come fuck with me. We gonna help you get this money, and we gonna help you get this stock market money and learn how to efficiently trade. All right, join the Prosperity Collective. Book a one-on-one. Do what you gotta do, especially get in before we go up on the price. That's not me fear mongering. I'm telling you, because when you listen, it's gonna be a day somebody ain't gonna they ain't gonna join, and then they gonna see the price, the new price. They're gonna be like, damn. I wish I would have. And then they gonna get in on a new price, and they're gonna be like, damn, I'm glad I did, but damn, I wish I would have, right? So please understand, this ain't no fear mongering. I'm just giving y'all facts. I'm just giving y'all a warning. All right. So he said, yeah, you gotta remember, you never want to give into the trade. Most momentum's already happened. Exactly. Wait for the pullback, y'all. Wait for the pullback. All right, don't chase them. Okay. So I'm gonna go for a couple minutes, drop a couple stocks that you want me to look over, and then whichever ones I see, I'll go over real quick. All right. Oh shit, DT, he said, can you look at BA? Let's look at Boeing real quick. Let's check it out. Where they at? BA. Where you at, BA? Let me type y'all in real quick. All right, so Boeing, right? Let's look at Boeing. So, okay. So Boeing, this is on a weekly time frame. Let me see the daily real quick. Okay, so Boeing on a daily time frame has been consolidating from here, from 238 to right here. All right, to 216. Right? That's the lowest. But previously, it hasn't gone lower than here. Right? 223. Now, if we look on a daily time frame, this is a little trend line right here. Okay? This little trend line right here. So it's getting tighter and tighter, right? This is a lower low. This is a higher low. This is another higher low, right? So honestly, with Boeing, I would look for a bounce right here, as long as it doesn't get below this trend line right here. If it could get above 232 tomorrow, then I would ride this back up, and then eventually I would be expecting to come back and retest 238, right? If it can break above 238, then it could be coming to 242. And if we want to zoom out, let's see, we in a gap right here too. We got a gap right here. It kind of filled that gap for the most part. But yeah, we could be coming back up to 268. So I think maybe like over the next 2 to 3 months, Boeing by the end of the year, it could be at 268. But this would be a good bounce area for you to ride it to the upside. All right. So that's Boeing. That's what I see with Boeing. So we'll do AI, and then we'll do CoreWeave. Okay. Let's do AI and CoreWeave. Let's see. AI. Let's see. All right. All right. AI right here on a daily. So it came lower. It came down here, bounced up, came back down. It's trying to come up, gapped up from here, right? So we got a gap. We got a gap to fill right here. So if we can get above 1597, I would say calls above 1597, like for tomorrow, whatever. But let's look at it on a wider time frame. Let's go to the monthly. Okay. Oh my goodness. So this is a 2021. They was at 180, came all the way down, up, down. So, I mean, honestly, it can't go too much lower, but we would really need to see AI get above, like, when we talking about, like, number one, we need AI to get back above 1715, right? Once AI could get back above 1715, it could start to make its way back up to like $23. I think that could take six to 12 months. Honestly, just to get back up here, it could take them 6 to 12 months. So this could be like a good 2-year leap, honestly. But I ain't really gonna mess with it. I've traded them before, but they don't move a lot, right? Their average, their ATR is $1, right? So on average, they move $1.03 per day. So it would take them 12 days of hitting their ATR every day to go touch what? $27, $26. But with all their volatility, they had some bad news come out. I don't think that they're gonna do too much for a while, if I'm being honest. All right, so that's what I got on AI. I wouldn't really mess with it. I wouldn't mess with it just because like it's so depressed. And when you look at the charts, you like, man, like it's been down here for a while. You get what I'm saying? And I haven't heard any good news about it. I've looked at articles and stuff like that, but all I've been seeing is people selling, right? So yeah, and I don't see any signs on any time frames for it to come back up. But 1715, it would be my level, right? That would be my level. All right. What else do you think AMD will come down? I had said, who did I say? I said I was gonna do. Oh, CoreWeave. Yeah, I said CoreWeave. So let's look at CoreWeave real quick, y'all. All right. CRWV. All right, so let's check this out. So here's the thing, right? Before we look at CoreWeave's chart, I'm gonna say when you have these stocks that IPO and they go crazy, I need you to expect them to come down. So Circle, CoreWeave, right? That's why CoreWeave is coming down right now, because it went silly, right? So let's go look at CoreWeave real quick. CoreWeave. All right, so this is the monthly time frame right here on CoreWeave, right? So wow. All right, $86.93. No, we got a little bit lower. Let me zoom in some more. All right. So we got right here $84.40. Okay, so potentially CoreWeave could come down to $64. All right. This is the monthly. Now let's go to the weekly real quick. So it looks like it could be establishing a support level of right here at this $84 range. Okay, so we're gonna call this support right here. All right, we're gonna call this support. 84.80 is CoreWeave support. Right, support 84. All right, right here. If CoreWeave breaks below this, then I would say we could be coming down to like $64. Now remember, this is off the weekly time frame. So what that means is we could come below 84.40, right? And we could have a big move to the downside. But if CoreWeave closes below 84.40 on the weekly time frame, which would mean that you would have to wait until the end of the week to enter into a position further down, then do that. But if you want to do it off the daily time frame, then I would say same thing, right? Below the same level. So this level is a solid level because we got right here and then we got right there. But it's bouncing, right? Same way it came here, bounced up, came down. It could be bouncing right back up. So honestly, I think that CoreWeave might have found a support right here, and it's bouncing here a little bit. So if it could get above $90.50, right, then I would get in the calls and ride it up. It's been down for a minute, but really the real level that you want to wait for or that you want to pay attention to is 105.79. If CoreWeave could get above 105.79, it's going to have an explosive move to the upside, and you're going to see it go to 150 relatively fast. All right. So 105.79 is the real level for CoreWeave, but from here, from 89 until then, I mean, this looks like a double bottom right here forming, right? We got right here, and then we got right here, okay? So if you start seeing it going to an uptrend, you could get in here. This right here would be the neckline. Wait until it breaks here for confirmation, and then it could be going all the way up here. But it may take, it could take a month to get back up to 105. It could take 2 to 3 months to get back up to 105, break above it, and then it could go crazy. So we got to see, okay? We got to see with CoreWeave, all right? But yeah, it does look like it's going up, all right? So listen, y'all. I wish that I could analyze every stock that y'all put in here, but it's been, an hour, 15 minutes so far. We went over the market last week. We went over last week's watch list. We went over this week's trades, this week's watch list already. I feel like you guys are super prepared for this week. All right, if y'all are prepared, let me know in the comments, man. Put it in the comments. Let me know you're ready to win. If you're ready to win this week, let me know in the comments you are ready to win. All right, and then be sure to like this video as well. All right, let me know y'all ready to win, man, because we got a big week this week. We got earnings as well. We got some big earnings. Well, only a couple companies that are like solid that's reporting earnings, but listen, we got opportunities all day, all week. All right, but if y'all ready to win, let me know in the comments. All right, I'm excited about this week. I hope you guys are excited as well. I hope you guys are going to trade responsibly, and y'all going to be patient with everything that you guys do. All right, we're going to put up some points on the board this week. If you guys are not joining Prosperity Collective, that's our trading community. The link is in the description of this video and every other video that I post. I publish daily videos every single day to change your life. All right. So if you guys want to join, click the link in the description. Do it before our price goes up. All right, y'all. We're going to make some bank this week. We're going to make some bread this week. All right. So listen, y'all, I'm getting ready to hop off, but I want y'all to say it with me. All right. I want y'all to say it with me. Let's go. Get out your head and go get into the world, because your head is a dangerous place to live, man. And I mean that. And also remember, y'all, the more you study, the less you worry. All right, y'all. Listen, you guys have a great day. Y'all have a great evening. All right, y'all enjoy the evening with your family, everything that you do. All right, we gonna see everybody in the Prosperity Collective tomorrow morning. All right, to come trade with us. Don't miss out. All right, don't make hasty decisions this week. Schedule a one-on-one if you want to. And if you want $25 of free stock, then click the link in the description and open up a SoFi brokerage account, or you can open up a SoFi bank account. And what you could do is you could get extra interest on a high interest account, savings account. All right. Y'all have a great evening. I'm going to holler at you guys tomorrow. All right. Y'all stay smooth, man. Peace.